their bats are ice cold. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And Schneider said it after the game last night. Like, they've got to start slugging again. They have one home run in the series, and it's particularly highlighted when Seattle is mashing like they did yesterday. Seattle's hitting home runs, and they're hitting doubles, and
their pitchers are pitching,
and they're pitching the Jays very well.
Yeah.
But the Jays they're at bats. There's nothing, and Vladdy through 2 games, no hits.
Yeah,
dude, he's doing that thing. Remember when I talked about it in the Yankees series? He's not like he's just smashing down on it, and these grounders, and it's like against the Yankees, he was like undercutting it, and they were flying out of the ballpark.
He's putting balls in play. I don't believe he struck out yet. Like, so it's not, he's putting balls in play. The first game in particular, he hit a couple of really, hard hit line drives, but it's not the divisional series anymore.
Yeah.
And you punked the Yankees and you goofed on the Yankees. Your job's not done.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to come alive. He's got to be better. He just hasn't been good enough through 2 games.
Yeah.
Here's Steve Phillips, our TSN baseball insider. What sticks out to you, Steve, in particular? You look back on the Blue Jays, the first 2 games. Like, what was the main reason that they're down 0-2 flying to Seattle?
Yeah, I think certainly the offense. I mean, this is a team that scored 34 runs in 4 games against the Yankees. And, in game 1, they did hit some balls hard right at people. And look, they're facing really good pitchers, but, you had a chance to keep the Mariners down on the mat. I mean, they were tired. They were starting Bryce Miller on short rest, Logan Gilbert on short rest. Like, there's an advantage going into that. They've flown back and forth from Seattle to Detroit to Seattle to Toronto. And they played loose and came out swinging. And the Jays hit some line drives that people just couldn't get anything going. And then in game 2, I mean, the pitching wasn't what it had been. Give the Mariners credit for that. But the Jays, who knows what happens if Rosarena struck out in the first inning, right? He thought he was struck out. And Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, called it a ball, and then he hits with a pitch, and then, a walk and a home run, and you're down 3-0. And then, you do muster the offense to come back. But, how much can you expect to get off of a really good pitching staff and a very good bullpen that they have there in Seattle? And so, it's one that it's a little disappointing, and this is a big hole. It's going to be really tough to dig out of. Teams have done it, but they're going to have to turn on a dime, and it just did not feel good after the first 2 games.
Steve, where are you at with taking Gausman out when he came out, and same thing with Yesavage yesterday?
Yeah, so I would not have taken Gausman out when he did. That was just, Gausman had gave up a hit on the fastball to Raleigh in the first inning. And Raleigh had been 6 for 11 against him, 3 home runs, with 3 home runs that all come on the fastball. And so in the second at bat, he ends up throwing exclusively splits. And the split finger struck out Raleigh. Then in that next at bat, he started him off with a split finger. Then he came with a fastball out of the zone, show me pitch, and they threw another split. At that point, Raleigh's like, I'm going to look for the split. Like, he's not going to throw me another fastball. I kill his fastball. And sure enough, he went down and hit the split. But that was just baseball stuff, right? Raleigh hit a good pitch. It was down. He went down and scooped it out of the park. Then the walk, and I get the walk, maybe John Schneider, but I don't go to the bullpen right there with Little. And then, once they wild pitched Julio Rodriguez to second, then I walk Polanco. Polanco from the right side is better than he is from the left side. And so you walk Polanco, and then you face Naylor with 2 outs on runners on first and second. I would never have pitched to Polanco there. And so I wouldn't have taken out Gausman. And then once you did, I would have walked Polanco after the wild pitch that sent Rodriguez to second.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly it can turn. After that bullpen game 4, Schneider's on top of the world, Vladdy's on top of the world, and now Schneider's getting cooked for every decision he makes, and Vladdy doesn't have a hit through 2 games.
Who do you think's getting cooked more, though? Probably Vladdy?
It's probably Schneider. It probably is because it's the easy thing to do. Everyone hates on the manager.
Yeah. And the way he walks out to the mound, and he was doing it so much, people were like, stop it.
Right, and he made mistakes. Like what Steve just said is spot on. He made mistakes, but for me, it should be Vladdy. Like, your job's not done. I get you have ebbs and flows, and maybe you were due for a game or whatever, but he came up the first 3 times he came up yesterday, Steve. He had runners on, and he couldn't cash any of them. And he's got to be better than what he's been through 2 games. It comes at you quick, man. It's not it's not the regular season where you can say I had a great week and I had a down week. You don't have time for that. And
too much at stake.
Yeah, and Vladdy, man, he was dancing on the grave of the Yankees, and now through 2 games, he just hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, I see the same thing though that you guys do. That that swing that he takes, where he sort of swings down on it, and that's where he doesn't trust himself to stay back, and so he gets out in between. And when you do that, it changes the bat path when you swing it, and so you can only hit it hard on the ground. I would rather him swing and miss, but hunting the bottom of the baseball, than to get that halfway swing where he's going to hit a hard ground ball to third. I'd rather him try to drive it. And he can get there. It's a confidence thing, and it's trusting, and it's and each at bat connects to the other. If he has a good first at bat, then the next time he's going to be more comfortable to sort of wait back on it. If they got a lead, it would be more comfortable to wait back on it where he doesn't feel the pressure like I have to. But that's what these games are right now, right? The high pressure moments. How do you slow the game down? How do you slow your heartbeat? How do you be the same player you are in August? On an August 19th game against Kansas City, where you're just out there playing as you are in a playoff game, that the heartbeat doesn't change, the approach doesn't change, and it's not easy to do. And so, but guys can get locked in on that, and you got to hope that this offense gets going quickly with the game 3 tomorrow.